With the extra point, this is Erik McKinney, joined by Greg Katz. And Greg, Stephen Carr is a name we've heard a few times during fall camp so far, and Clay Helton pointed him out for having the best camp that he's had. Stephen Carr, the senior running back, it's a loaded group. Your thoughts on Stephen Carr coming into the 2020 season?
You know, I don't normally get really attached to players per se. I mean, I look at them and I kind of hope they all do well, but I'm kind of rooting for him because he was so highly touted coming out of high school. He so much wanted to be a USC Trojan running back, and he comes to the program and he really showed flashes of greatness his first year, and then he gets hurt, and he never seemed to recover. And then he's thrown into an offense that isn't, should we say, running back friendly in terms of where the emphasis is placed. So for him now to be healthy, and in what video we've seen of him running between the tackles, Clay Helton did say about the scrimmage that he's so excited about Stephen, his physicality, and how he's one cut and then attack. And I guess there was one play in the scrimmage where apparently Stephen went back to the old ways, whatever that is, maybe more than one cut. And he told him, don't do that. Just one cut and get out there and be physical. So the fact that he is being physical, and the fact that I think we keep hearing his name, although we have to take into consideration that the others are kind of hurt, but that doesn't detract for what he's doing. And so I would say, since we're kind of on the clock now with only maybe 3 weeks before the season, I would say he stands an excellent shot of starting. And I have no bias. Of course, we don't see the scrimmage, but from the sounds of it and what little we have seen for the video, I'd say he's making some real progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of, whatever training camp looks like, plus fall camp and that sort of thing, the guys who are on the field the most, that they're going to benefit the most when it comes time for the season. And right now it sounds like he has done everything the coaches wanted. Clay Helton mentioned that they challenged him, and he really stepped up to that. I know, talking to him a little bit back in the spring, and when the shutdown was kind of happening, he was really fired up about spring ball and about getting out there. So I can only imagine that sort of pent up energy and aggression, he's really seems to be taking that out. I think the offense can sort of fit him if he's fully healthy. Clay Helton has talked about running two back sets, and how Stephen Carr specifically, and a couple of the running backs too, are great pass catchers, either lined up as a wide receiver or coming out of the backfield. And that's something where maybe not all of his touches come as carries this year, and he can sort of get out into the passing game a little bit. But like you mentioned, the injuries that he has dealt with, it's felt like a constant start stop career for him. And so if he's really healthy and he's running like this, absolutely one of the easier USC players to root for, to see him have a big season. And if it always seems like this, when you have a position where there's this potential logjam, it does usually seem like it gets sort of sorted out based on injury or how a guy's playing or something like that. So again, if it looks like this, and Stephen Carr goes into the season as your number one running back, what you're hearing about him at this point, and certainly what you know of his ability and what he can do, it makes it pretty easy to take, and something to, I think, look forward to from him as a running back. So you've wanted to see it the past couple of years, and it just hasn't really seemed to be there for the entire season. But absolutely, at this point, fingers crossed that we see a fully healthy Stephen Carr for a full season. And I think USC, even with Vavae Malepeai and Marquise Stepp kind of banged up a little bit and nursing some injuries, I think they're still in good hands with him at the top of that running back depth chart, if that's the way it goes entering the season.